Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Milky Way tumbler designed by Nicole Marett. You can find both parts of Nicole's Milky Way tutorial in the description box below. I'm going to start out putting epoxy on my tumbler. I've painted it white, and if you need to know how to mix epoxy, you can also find that in the description box. For this step, I'm using Counterculture Fast Set because it's going to dry in a little under 2 hours, so I can move on to the next part of the Milky Way in a very short time. With most epoxy, you have to wait 6 to 8 hours between layers, but with the Fast Set from Counterculture, it's dry to the touch in about 2 hours. I painted my tumbler white to give it just a good base coat so you're not going to see that silver shining through in between the glitter. But usually if I'm going to use the epoxy method, which I'm using to apply the glitter with, I would paint it the color of the glitter. But I'm going to be using different shades of glitter, so I just did a good solid white just to give it a blank slate. Remember, with the epoxy method, you just want a smooth, thin layer on the entire cup. All of the glitter that I'm using today is from Peachy Olive Glitter, and you can find the link below. Starting out, I'm just going to use the light purple, which is Ansley Pansley, and I'm going to place it randomly on the cup. There is no pattern, there is no certain way that you need to put the glitter on. It's just going to go on randomly, and at the end it's going to look good, and you have to think that a lot of this is going to be covered up with white, and that's what makes it that Milky Way. So don't worry so much about the placement of your glitter. Just make sure that your cup is completely covered and that you don't have any bare spaces underneath. The next color I'm using is a chunky fine mix, and I like to use this one because I feel like it kind of fills in the spaces between glitter, and you can also layer these on top of each other. It may seem unnatural at first, but just go for it. Pick shades that you feel like go together naturally. When you first see this blue mixed together on top of this purple, it may look a little shocking. This is the color Jasmine, but at the end you'll see that it just flows together, and it's going to flow really well when we pull it all together at the end. Next, I used Ravenclaw to kind of pull all of the transition together between the blue and the purple, and then I'm going to let it dry for 2 hours. After my cup is dry and it's not tacky or sticky to the touch, I'm going to apply another coat of epoxy. This is giving it a medium for your epoxy dye or whatever you choose to color or tint your epoxy with, a chance to flow around the cup, and that's what's going to make your Milky Way. For this Milky Way, I'm going to use 2 colors. So I'm going to need 2 cups with epoxy poured into them. You cannot go wrong with this method, with the Milky Way method. When I talked to Nicole about making this tutorial, she actually said that it came about as a mistake. She thought that she had ruined her cup, but at the end, after it had finished and cured, she loved the way that it had turned out. So I'm using Armor Art by Counterculture. You can see you need very little. It's very pigmented. I have it into the epoxy, and now I'm going to stir. Just stir the color directly into the epoxy. You can also use epoxy dye and just a little tiny bit of acrylic paint. Either way, what you choose, it is not going to go wrong, like I said, and you can always go back and put other layers if you're unhappy with the way that your cup finishes. So using my popsicle stick, I'm going to dip it into the cup with the Armor Art from Counterculture and just let it flow naturally onto the cup. This is going to create veins, and you can really create awesome effects with this armor art because once you apply the torch, it kind of disperses the color. And so that's why I prefer it over the epoxy dye. But no matter what you choose, how you choose to do it, like I said, they're all going to turn out different. And that's what makes this art and this craft so much fun. One tip that I like to do is I like to lay the white coloring first because I like to let the other colors pop against that white. But if you do it and you don't like the way that one area looks in your cup, you can always put that white back over it or any other color, and when you torch, it's going to move it all around. I'm also going to link my torch for you. So using your torch, just do really short, tight bursts of heat over your entire cup, and you're going to see your epoxy starting to move. Now, if it starts to run, you can always use the popsicle stick to create kind of like a swirled effect and just drag it down towards the bottom of your cup to break up some of that color. Let your tumbler dry. Apply another finishing coat of epoxy, and your Milky Way tumbler is finished. So thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon.